I'm not the one who drinks 5 monsters a day.
I feel very attacked.
Yeah, you are. I'm sorry.
No, you're not, and that's the worst part. Hello, and welcome back to What Pissed You Off This Week. I am your host, Lele, the main character of your worst nightmare, Raukola. Thank you.
I thought I wanted to keep it like Halloween themed, you know?
Yeah. Well, I failed that one because I am joined here today by Torgeir I Hate Airplanes Ryssevik. Say hello, Torgeir.
I do hate airplanes. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
And happy Halloween! Or Halloweek, as you've written
Happy
here.
Halloween! Because it's Halloween for a whole week, we decided.
Yes,
Because we're not posting this on Halloween.
No, and we are also not recording this on Halloween.
Of course we're not. Like, that's why we're not in costume.
Yes.
It's not
Definitely
Halloween.
not because we decided yesterday that we want to make a Halloween episode. It's definitely just because it's not Halloween yet.
How could we have decided that yesterday? Look at all this decoration that we put up.
Yeah, and we got Herbert.
Herbert, our good friend Herbert. Can you tell us a bit about Herbert?
I don't know what you're implying. Herbert here is, well...
No, he's not. I don't think he's well at all.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think he's well. He has some back problems.
Yeah, spinal issues.
We don't need to get into that, but
you know,
he has some back problems.
If you don't want to tell them, I can. So, our boss's dad was kind enough to lend us all these Halloween decorations.
Yes.
He was so nice. We thanked him and carried our decorations, and we hadn't fucking even left we had left the store.
We had left the store.
We were just outside the store, and she's playing around with Herbert over here.
I was carrying Herbert. I was trying
She was drop kicking him down the street, throwing him around, shaking him all about. What?
That was Yashu.
Did you do that to Yash? Anyways, and what do you think is gonna happen? Sherbert fucking breaks in half.
His name is Herbert.
Yeah.
I think you'll find on Sherbert.
Did I say Sherbert? That's an ice cream. Herbert.
No, I was carrying him, but because he is very top heavy, his top, and this is so great because podcasts, famously a visual media.
Yeah.
Herbert is a skeleton that we have on the couch with Torgeir. I was carrying him, but he's very top heavy. So because I let go of his shoulder blades for literally a second, his spine snapped in half.
Yes. How did we deal with that issue?
I broke a monster can with my bare hands and caught my fingers. Then I rolled that entire soft middle part of a monster can into a tiny roll, and then we stuck it inside his spine and hot glued it together. I honestly think we should be now qualified as orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Yeah. Of course, you got spinal issues? Hit me up.
Yes. Call Lele and Torgeir's orthopedic clinic. We will fix you right up. With the power of friendships and monster.
And hot glue.
And hot glue.
Very hot glue.
Very hot glue.
Be careful. Very hot glue.
But we have a little bit of a special episode for you guys. So without further ado, Torgeir, what pissed you off this week?
Well, could it maybe be airplanes? And specifically, airplane seats.
Now, why is that, Torgeir?
Well, you see, they keep making them smaller. But I don't keep getting smaller, do I?
And Torgeir, how tall are you?
I'm 186 centimeters. For you Americans, that's like a 16th of a football field. I don't know. A 16th of the width of a football field, just about, give or take.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Or about 15 Big Macs.
No more.
28 Big Macs.
Yeah, I think that's closer.
Yes.
I can ask ChatGPT how many Big Macs you would be. You would be about 34 Big Macs tall.
34 Big Macs tall for you Americans out there. Anyways, yeah. But in addition to being fairly tall, really fucking long thighs. These guys, long.
Very long.
Yes. So
I would be 28 Big Macs.
Yes.
Sorry.
So if I'm just sat down in a plane seat, my knees will by default be touching the seat in front.
Which is not comfortable.
You wouldn't know, would you?
No, because I am 156 centimeters tall, and I can fully straighten my legs on airplanes, which is why I really, really want to sit next to you on an airplane, even though I have been told by 3 different people that I really don't.
You really don't.
One of them being your girlfriend. She said, it's not a great experience.
No, it's not. Anyways.
Yes.
Sitting in a plane seat, not good. You know what's worse, though?
Hearing how I do fit into those seats?
No. What is worse is when the person in front reclines their motherfucking seat. Like, why do people never check and like ask, is it okay if I recline my seat? Because there is literally no space.
Yeah.
And if you recline your seat, they're gonna smack against my fucking legs.
Especially if it's a short flight. Like, I can kind of get it if it's like an 8-hour flight.
Any flight.
Yeah,
if
fair.
you recline your seat without checking with the person behind,
it is quite self-centered.
Yeah.
I honestly don't get, on a mode of transportation that is as crowded and cramped as an airplane,
why are you able to?
Yeah, why is there a function to recline your seat?
Why is that an option? And not this time I was flying, but a couple weeks ago. So what pissed you off 3 weeks ago? A person on a very short flight. It was from Oslo to Frankfurt, I think. So maybe an hour and a half flight, not a long flight.
Very short flight.
First tried to recline their seat. I was like, don't recline your fucking seat. She looks back and like, oh, what the fuck are you up to? Like, I can recline my seat if I want to. And
Russian?
I'm like, what?
Was she Russian?
No, I had my AirPods in. I wasn't listening at all. I was just shouting at her, don't recline your fucking seat. There's no room. Yeah, she looks away. I fall back asleep. I don't know how much time passes because I was asleep, but she does it again. And this time, same thing. I do this, make sure she doesn't like crush my fucking knees. She turns back again and starts arguing. Like, but I'm allowed to take my seat back. And then at the same time, the guy collecting trash or whatever is walking past, and she's trying to like argue with him, like getting him on her case, like, but what? I am allowed to take my seat back. And he even tries to argue, like, yeah, she is allowed to take her seat back. And I just tell him, no, she can't. No room. And he just gives up. He doesn't care to argue anymore.
But like, if there is no room, there's no room.
Like, she isn't able to. If she does that, my knees have to collapse for that to happen. So fucking disrespectful.
That is, and that's just...
And like, to do it once, yeah, okay, you were a little bit inconsiderate. You didn't think what was going to happen. That's fine. But when I have already told you that it's not a possibility, and it hurts my legs, doing it again then is just fucking evil.
Yeah.
That is what pissed me off. Not this week, 3 weeks ago.
I think you're allowed to be pissed about that because you are very tall.
I can feel myself being pissed now.
Yeah,
just
I can
talking
tell.
about it.
I can actually tell.
Fuck planes.
Fuck planes.
What pissed you off this week?
What pissed me off this week is people coming into my studio every 4 fucking minutes when I'm trying to carry out any task. So basically, like we have established, we work in a recording studio, this studio. You work in this studio. I work in this studio. About 15 meters that way.
You work in the tiniest little studio.
Yes, I work in the tiniest little studio. But I don't even remember. I think I was trying to post on Instagram or on TikTok or something. It wasn't that it was a difficult task, but it was a task that I had to think for a little bit. Like I was writing a caption. I was writing down something or editing something that really required my concentration. And people kept walking into my studio with the most trivial things.
Yeah. Was it Yashu?
Of course it was Yashu. Like, we love Yashu. He's our Polish producer. Yes, we love you, Yashu. And I had told Yashu, like, I think it was the 3rd time he was walking in that I said, no, actually, Yashu walked in once or twice, but then it was just like different people. Yeah. And I said to Yashu when I was leaving my studio, there's like a communal space with that kitchen and chairs and tables. And I ranted to Yashu like, oh my God, everyone keeps walking into my studio every time I try to do something. And like every time I sit down, I talk to them for like 4 minutes. I go back to my thing. I kind of reorient myself. Okay, where was I? Oh, it was this. Okay, I'm going to start doing door opens. What is it this time? And like, you know, I know that they don't know that I've been interrupted multiple times, but it was still fucking annoying. And I ran to Yashu, like, oh my God, they keep coming in. And I go back into my studio. And then just after I have sat down and once again I have my headset in, I'm about to get in, I hear Yashu say something to someone. And then I hear the sound of the first door opening. I'm like, and then the second, hello. And then that was our boss, Carl. Yeah,
it wasn't Yashu.
Carl opens it, and then before he can say anything, I hear Yashu. I tried to stop him. So our sweet little Yashu had tried to tell him not to come in, that I had just complained and don't come into the studio. And he tried to stop him. And I was like,
so good.
That was so precious. Yeah. And then Carl, our sweet Carl, our boss Carl is a very passionate person when he gets excited.
Yeah,
and he had like a very cool vision for this like thing we could start doing, like these kind of very topical, funny thing about kind of like a memes, very current topics turned into memes, kind of like Trump's, they're eating, the cats are eating the dogs, you know, the remixes of that, kind of that stuff. And then he's talking to Yashu, he's talking to me, and then Yashu's talking to me, and he's talking to me, and I'm just like, I was already kind of annoyed. And then like when I suddenly get two people talking at me very fast, I had to say to them, like kind of in the middle of a sentence, guys, I'm going to need you to fuck off right now because I'm about to have a panic attack. Too many people saying too many things at once. I love you, but can this conversation please be over? And then, because I famously cry very easily, I love that now when I say I'm going to start crying, like it's a threat that is taken seriously because I probably will. But yeah, that has pissed me off this week. People walking into my studio when I'm trying to work, and it's like every 4 minutes. So, like we said, we have a little bit of a special episode going on. So now we are going to read some stories from Reddit to you.
Halloween.
Hell yeah. So
you didn't do Halloween. Yes.
Hell yeah. That wasn't a good one. It was. There we go. Okay, so this is actually a Reddit story I've like originally heard on another podcast that I now found on r/nosleep. Which
podcast was it?
I don't remember.
Was it r/?
It could have been, but it could have been something else.
Shout out to r/.
Shout out to r/. He's both of our like probably one of our favorites.
Yeah. Out of like Reddit Reddit podcasts, definitely the favorite.
To me, it's either that one or Two Hot Takes. Love him. But like we have listened to r/ together in the car and when we've been hanging out, like it's a really good podcast. Shout out to Dabney. He's a great dude.
Is that his name?
Yes. I follow his old Twitter account. So I was a creep and stalked. Anywho. Yes. This is like from one person to kind of multiple short stories. So this is on r/nosleep by Search and Rescue Woods. And it's called, I'm a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service. I have some stories to tell. I wasn't sure where else to post these stories, so I figured I'd share them here. I've been an SAR officer for a few years now, and along
with SAR?
Search and rescue officer, I would assume. Yeah, search and SAR. Is it SAR or SAR?
I think it's SAR.
Okay, I'm just going to say sorry. It's also easier to say.
Yeah.
If it's SAR, I am sorry. I'm stupid, but I'm going to keep doing that anyway. I've been a SAR officer for a few years now, and along the way, I've seen some things that I think you guys will be interested in. I have a pretty good track record for finding missing people. Most of the time, they just wander off the path or slip down a small cliff, and they can't find their way back. The majority of them have heard the old stay where you are thing, and they don't wander far. But I've had 2 cases where that didn't happen. Both bother me a lot, and I use them as motivation to search even harder on the missing persons cases I get called in. The first was a little boy who was out berry picking with his parents. He and his sister were together, and both of them went missing around the same time. Their parents lost sight of them for a few seconds, and in that time, both the kids apparently wandered off. When their parents couldn't find him, they called us, and we came out to search the area. We found the daughter pretty quickly, and when we asked where her brother was, she told us he'd been taken away by the bear man. She said he gave her berries and told her to stay quiet, that he wanted to... He chose the bear, I guess.
Under my pillow for the bear man.
In case he bears around. Anyway, that he wanted to play with her brother for a while. The last she saw of her brother, he was riding on the shoulders of the bear man. What did I first do? He was riding the bear man. I was like, I'm sorry.
Was he riding the bear man?
He was riding the shoulders of the bear man and seemed calm.
So he was riding the bear man.
He was riding the bear.
Well,
this is a child that we're talking about. I know exactly how much you know.
Oh, you haven't read the story?
I skimmed through it. Of course, our first thought was abduction, but we never found a trace of another human being in that area. The little girl was also insistent that he wasn't a normal man, but that he was tall and covered in hair, like a bear. Kind of like you.
What?
I just said kind of like you. You're not even that hairy.
No.
You have more arm hair than I do.
Yeah, an appropriate amount. Keep reading.
Like a bear, and that he had a weird face. Kind of like you.
Keep reading.
I'm so sorry. We searched that area for weeks. It was one of... I'm so sorry. I keep laughing.
This is supposed to be a scary story.
Boo. Can
you read?
Oh, no.
Can you try?
Yeah. What is it wrong with me? Don't answer that. It was one of the longest calls I've ever been on.
Oh, you were on the story again.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, but we never found a single trace of that kid. The other kid was a young woman. No, the other was a young... Good God. The other was a young woman who was out hiking with her mom and grandpa. According to her... That's not how you speak.
A car.
Shut up. According to... No. I just mispronounced it twice in the same way. According to her mother, her daughter had climbed up a tree to get a better view of the forest, and she'd never come back down. They waited at the base of the tree for hours, calling her name before they called for help. Again, we searched everywhere, and we never found a trace of her. I have no idea where she could possibly have gone, because neither her mother or grandpa saw her come down. You know, like, the scare factor of all of this is completely fucking gone, because I can't keep myself together.
Yeah, no, you're telling this like this is the funniest shit you've ever heard, and it's supposed to be scary. Where are the missing children?
One particularly sad case involved the recovery of a body. A 9-year-old girl fell down an embankment and got impaled on a dead tree at the base. It was a complete... What were you gonna say?
I was just laughing.
You're a horrible person. Hvorfor ler du?
Hva snakker du norsk? Hva pisset deg av denne uken?
Mikä teitä vitutti tällä viikolla?
Was haben dir pissed off diese Woche?
Fuck you and your multiple languages.
That was very incorrect German. Probably a German person would understand what I was trying to say, but they would laugh at me
Vad
for sure.
har pissat du off denna veckan?
Muminsvenska?
Ja.
Ja.
Jag talar inte svenska. Anyway, it was... Can we go back to the impaled 9-year-old girl?
Yeah.
It was a complete freak accident, but I'll never forget the sound of her Oh my God, this got so dark. But I'll never forget the sound her mother made when she told her what had happened. She saw the body bag being loaded into the ambulance, and she let out the most haunting, heartbroken wail I've ever heard. It was like her whole life was crashing down around her, and a part of her had died with her daughter. I heard from another... We are going straight to hell.
Yeah.
Like, straight. I heard from another SAR officer that... Oh no. That she committed breathant a few weeks after it happened.
What does that mean?
I can't say it on YouTube. She committed breathant.
Oh.
After it happened. She couldn't
Alivened?
Yes, unalivened.
No, the other one. Alivened.
Oh yes. She unalived.
She despawned.
Yes. She
She control alt
She
deleted.
fell from a high place.
Yes.
No, that was the daughter. She couldn't live with the loss of her daughter.
Yes.
We are going literally straight to hell.
Anyways, the mom couldn't live without
Yeah,
her
I guess
daughter.
that was... This is the least scary shit ever because of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is purely on us.
I'm so scared.
I'm scared of hell because that's where we're fucking going.
I'm not scared of hell because I'm already living.
Is it because we were friends?
Yes. I was joking. Keep reading the.
It was over that one, but
What? Was that the?
No.
What was there no punchline to?
I think the punchline was the heartbreaking wail that her mom let out, and the OP was telling about how horrifying it was to hear that mom after she found her daughter impaled on a tree. But we were just being horrible people all over the story.
But where was the twist?
There was no twist. It was
A
just.
good story has to have a twist or a punchline or something that's like.
I think the punchline was the mom unaliving herself. But we were just fucking laughing.
But that's not funny.
None of this was funny, but you kept laughing. I laughed with you.
You started the laughing.
You know what? You're not alone in this being your personal hell. I'm right there with you. Just for the viewer to know, it is currently 2:28.
No.
And we have work tomorrow at 9.
It's 5 a.m. somewhere.
It's not a good thing. It's about to be 5 a.m. here.
No, it's 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Are you ready to head off into the next story I've got to read for you? Okay. We have now had a moment to collect ourselves, and now we are heading into the next scary story. And we will try our hardest to treat it as a scary story, because this was supposed to be the Halloween spooky scary episode.
Nope.
We are serious grown-ups, right? One of the scariest things I've ever had happen to me involved the search of a young woman who'd gotten separated from her hiking group. We were out until late at night because the dogs had picked up her scent. When we found her, she was curled up under a large rotted log. She was missing her shoes and pack, and she was clearly in shock. She didn't have any injuries, and when we were able to get her to walk with us back to base ops. Along the way, she kept looking behind us and asking why that big man with black eyes was following us.
Was this not the bear man?
No, this is a separate story. Yes. We couldn't see anyone, so we wrote it off as some weird symptom of shock. But the closer we got to base, the more agitated this woman got. She kept asking me to tell him to stop making faces at her. At one point, she stopped and turned around and started yelling into the forest, saying that she wanted him to leave her alone. She wasn't going to go with him, she said, and she wouldn't give us to him. We finally got her to keep moving, and we started hearing these weird noises coming from all around us. It was almost like coughing, but more rhythmic and deeper. It was almost insect-like. I don't really know how else to describe it. When we were within sight of base ops, the woman turns to me, and her eyes are about as wide as I can imagine a human could open them. She touches my shoulder and says, "He says to tell you to speed up. He doesn't like looking at the scar on your neck." I had a very small scar on the base of my neck, but it's mostly hidden under my collar, and I have no idea how this woman saw it. Right after she says it, I hear the weird coughing right in my ear, and I just about jumped out of my skin. I hustled her to ops, trying not to show how freaked out I was, but I have to say, I was really happy when we left the area that night. This is so much lamer when we're being serious.
Yes.
So much more fun to make fun of things.
Where was the scary part?
I guess it was the guy that was breathing down his neck.
Where was the jump scare?
I don't think there was one.
Was there it was.
That was so cruel.
There was the jump scare.
How hard did I peek in the mic?
You peeked in both our mics.
I hate you.
Halloween music.
No, there was a record scratch. I got so spooked. I don't hate you. I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that I do. But good God. What the fuck?
Where do I need to get in reading position?
I need to get in listening position.
Growing up in a conservative part of the US, I always felt like an outsider in my own life. At 18 years old, standing at 5'8" and weighing only 122 pounds, I faced immense pressure to conform to societal expectations of masculinity. I have no idea what those measurements mean. My feminine features heighten my self-awareness, compelling me to project an exaggerated masculine persona. During the day, I played the part, pretending to enjoy sports and engaging in conversation about girls, while inside, I felt a mere actor in a role that didn't fit. The struggle only deepened my desire to conform. The pressure weighed heavily on me, and by night, I transformed into Lavinia, my online alter ego. My persona was my sanctuary, a space where I could fully embrace who I was without judgment. I shared photos on social media, dressed in sexy dresses, lingerie, and bold makeup, reveling in the freedom Lavinia afforded me, a stark contrast to the constraints of my everyday life. One evening, while scrolling through notifications, a DM caught my eye. The username was unfamiliar, but the message sent a chill down my spine. Hey, real name? My heart raced. I used an alias for that account. How did they know my real name? Hesitantly, I replied, Hey, who is this? The conversation began casual, but quickly turned sinister. Just someone who admires your style. The pink dress really suits you. Thanks, but I don't know you. Oh, but I know you. I see you every day. The air in my room felt thick with dread. What do you mean? You should really be more careful. Not everyone is as friendly as they seem. I blocked the account, but soon another message arrived from a new profile, this time with photos of me taken in public, walking home, at the park, even in front of my house. The invasiveness of it all sent a cold wave of terror through me. Nice outfit today. That tight blue shirt really popped against your skin. Who the hell are you? Someone who cares. Someone who sees you. Blocking one account after another did little to ease my mounting anxiety. In a state of sheer panic, I eventually chose to deactivate my account altogether, terrified of the secrets that could be laid bare.
Was this the secret account that they had?
Yeah. Under an alias.
Yeah. Lavinia? Something along those lines.
Lavinia.
Lavinia.
For weeks, I was haunted by the unsettling feeling of unseen eyes watching me, always lurking just out of sight. Then, one afternoon, a box appeared on my doorstep.
Box is never good.
Yeah. Seemingly timed for my arrival, as no one in my family had seen it come. The label simply read, From a dear friend to Lavinia. Inside was a note, scrawled in jagged handwriting alongside some lipstick. The note read, Noticed how you walked to the park on Tuesday. The white short shorts looked great. Reactivate your account immediately. This guy is so fucking creepy.
Ew.
My stomach churned. I felt like a puppet. Strings pulled tighter with each threat. Desperate for answers, I messaged the new account. What do you want from me? Where's the fun in that? Are you going to just keep messing with me? Messing with you? No, I'm just watching. You're the one playing games. What do you mean? You can't hide forever. You're not invisible. Lavinia, I see you.
That's fucking creepy.
Yeah, the dread was crushing. I realized this was about more than just the photos or messages. It was about control.
Is it a true story?
I don't know. They wanted something deeper. When they asked me to send a picture in my pink dress, I initially refused, but they held leverage. Secrets I hadn't shared with anyone. If you don't, I'll reveal everything, and you know what I'm talking about. Reluctantly, I complied, hoping that would end it. But the game had just begun. Each next task was a test of my limits, pushing me into a corner where I had no control. I was entangled in a dangerous game with an unseen predator, someone who thrived on my fear and helplessness. With each new demand, I felt myself slipping further into despair, my identity fading into the background. As I became enmeshed in this unsettling situation, I realized this was no longer just a game, it was a reckoning. So this is apparently part 1.
What was the subreddit and what was the OP?
This was r/no sleep. Unseen eyes blackmailed with my hidden identity by u/even here Atlas.
That's a very difficult username to say out loud.
u/even here Atlas.
u/even here Atlas.
Hell yeah.
That's so freaking scary.
Yeah.
Pretty spooky stuff.
Very spooky stuff.
We need to start recording these episodes at a more convenient time because it is currently 2:53 a.m. And
Is it 2:53?
Yes, it is.
What?
First of all, that story was freaking creepy.
Yeah, that was creepy as fuck.
Like, what would you do in OP's situation? What can you do? Because like you
call the police probably.
But there's a stigma because
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that he's from like a conservative part in the US. Like,
yeah,
can you go to the police?
That is true.
If it's a small place, like, are you just gonna get hate crimed by the police? And did he mention his race?
No.
Because then if you're also like a man of color, there's that added layer to that as well. But like, yeah, because like my first thought is, I would tell my mom or my dad. But like, can OP do that?
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
We don't know if it's a real story though.
Yeah.
Might
but like, what if it is? I mean, that's creepy as hell.
Hell yeah.
I think that was the episode. Happy Halloween, Torgeir.
Happy Halloween.
Please tell us your Halloween costumes in the comments, because I want to see what actually imaginative people came up with.
Yeah. And also let us know what pissed you off this week.
Yes. For you, it was planes.
Yeah.
For me, it was people interrupting my fucking workflow every 4 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And just before we wrap this episode off, I want to plug an absolutely incredible TV show, which is From.
From where?
From Netflix.
Okay.
No, actually, for now, it's TV2. But yeah, From. If
from
you haven't,
where?
Shut up.
From whom?
I'm about to take your life away from you if you don't just listen.
Like you did with Herbert?
Oh my God. Can we gush about the TV show for like 2 seconds? Basically, we've been watching it. It's super good.
It is really good.
It is actually really good. Like, I just complained in last episode about bad horror, but this is a really good show.
It is.
It's not really horror, I guess, per se. I guess it's more thriller.
You know what is horror? Ah!
I thought you were going to say hanging out with me or something.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Really good TV show. I think my co-host is starting to get a bit antsy.
No.
Are you sure about that?
Are you short about that?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to What Pissed You Off This Week.
That one.
Yes,
not the guy.
That's the podcast that we're doing.
That guy.
Who's guy?
I only want to say goodbye to that guy.
Which guy is that?
The guy in the green shirt.
I know,
greenish,
I
brownish, bluish shirt.
I want to say bye to the lady in the back.
Anyway, thank you and bye.
We gotta have a cooler bye than that.
Bye.